This is your checklist for the rest of your life. If something's not working in your relationship, this is the first place you go. 5 disciplines of love and 3 of passion. These 5 disciplines are what the game is all about. The first discipline we call the discipline of unconditional love and compassion. The discipline. Why do I call it a discipline? Because you don't always feel unconditionally loving and you don't always feel compassionate. If your triggers get fired, if something triggers your masculine or feminine, animal in you, that survival instinct in you based on something going on, you may not show up so, unconditional in your love and compassion. What this really means, put it in one phrase, put your lover what? It's not about you. That's the law. You put your lover first. If you are having problems in your relationship, I can promise you that the problem you're having right now is you're feeling pain right now, and it's because you're focused on yourself, not your partner. You're focused on what you're not getting. You're focused on what your partner's not giving you. You're focused on something that's not happening there. This is the number one law. You want to have an extraordinary relationship, tear up your rules, make this your number one rule. Number one rule is my lover comes first. My number one rule is if you're in love, you put their feelings and needs before your own. Second discipline, real quick, the discipline of absolute courage and vulnerability. Absolute courage and vulnerability. This is learning to love no matter what. I mean, truly no matter what. Now, how many people are going to do that? Not many. Not many people are going to have an extraordinary relationship. But what I mean by this is, if you have courage and vulnerability, that means you tell the truth. That means you open up. Most people, out of a lack of courage, hold back their gift. This idea that you're going to give pain to somebody you love, you're going to punish them, that takes no courage, that takes no vulnerability, that's just stupidity. So the more vulnerable you are, the more power you have, because love penetrates all. Third law is the law of positive intent. Yes. The discipline, I should say, of positive intent. By the way, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. You don't follow these disciplines, you're going to have regret. Right? That's their disciplines, their commitments, they're things you're going to do no matter what. Discipline means even if it's not easy, you still do it, right? Discipline is, it's a habit. That's what a discipline is. It's a habit. It's the discipline of positive intent. You know the deeper truth that this is a no-blame game. You know that when something happens, no matter what it was, like when I said that to her, my girl knew, she and I made a decision early on. I decided, and this is a decision I encourage you to make if you haven't made it, or make it anew if you haven't made it in years. I decided I knew this woman's soul. Yeah. This woman's soul was as pure as anything I could ever dream of in my life. I knew that I loved this woman, her soul was pure, so no matter what happened, I would serve her, and no matter what happened, no matter what she said, no matter what she did, I would know, even if I couldn't figure out how, the intent was pure. The intent was wanting to get closer. It looks mean, but she's scared. It looks vicious, but she's just freaked out. And same thing with me. He looks like he's an unconscious asshole. He just doesn't know. It looks like he doesn't give a shit. He's actually a masculine male, and this is what they do, right? We shifted the meaning to always there's an empowering meaning because there's never negative intent, no matter what it looks like, no matter what was said. And by having that, along with that, they just want a positive intent, in a sense, no blame game, we immediately apologize. It doesn't matter what has happened. If there's any argument we have, it's a playful argument, which is, I'm taking responsibility and she's taking responsibility. No, honey, it was my fault. No, it was my fault. And it's like, and we mean it sincerely. It doesn't matter what it is, because I hold myself as whatever she's feeling, ultimately it's my responsibility. Even if I didn't intend it, that's it. So I take responsibility. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry your feelings were hurt. She does it with me also. And since we both are constantly doing it, it makes it like there's nobody ever blaming somebody else. So think about this. We put each other first. If we find we're not, we change that immediately, right? We immediately look at, we got to be courage and vulnerable. We've got to tell the truth. That's really what that is. Tell the truth with kindness, with love, with making nobody wrong, because we both know we have positive intent. And you break through all the bullshit with this.
Mm-hmm. And with an apology, rather than I'm sorry you, always have I.
Yes.
Always I. Honey, I'm sorry today when I upset you, or I'm sorry today if I upset you. Having the word I and owning it neutralizes. It's such a crazy, and we so underrate an apology of ownership. Owning something, who cares? When you love each other, who cares about being right or wrong? And if there really is an unconscious action, and even if it wasn't your intent, even if it wasn't unconscious, even if it was a misinterpretation, who cares? Own it. You own it, and it neutralizes that, and it only brings you closer. It's extraordinary.
And you got to remember, no matter what they did, that's not who they are. If you can remember that, human behavior is not a reflection of the human spirit. Often it's a reflex action of the animal inside of us. And if you can know that, you know their spirit and you know their soul, then you know when people get insecure, when they get uncertain, when they go on survival, I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. So instead of judging and making them wrong because you're scared of being hurt again, you got to come back to, I know what their intent is, I know it's positive. When you question my intent, you end the relationship. You question my behavior, you got every right to do that, even if I disagree with you. You just never question intent. I'd underline that, I'd bold it, I'd go on. If you question intent, you are destroying the relationship. So when you look at somebody, usually you subscribe either what you would do or if you